Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see here on our channel or our website. It's in the description below. Reach out to me at tmosso@thewatchbox.com. And today we're discussing a 2020 release that has just become available pre-owned. This is the Grand Seiko Sport GMT Spring Drive SBGE253, 40.5 millimeters in stainless steel with a ceramic bezel. This addresses one of the primary objections to previous Grand Seiko Spring Drive GMTs, which were technically proficient, beautifully made, but seemingly designed for superhuman anatomy. This is a very wearable watch. So 40.5 millimeters in diameter. You can see that the timepiece is reasonably slim at 14.6 millimeters. If you measure the case, it's 48.6 millimeters from lug to lug. If you measure the end lengths, then the absolute distance across the wrist is 51 millimeters, much like a Rolex Submariner or Daytona on a bracelet. There's a 20 millimeter spacing between the lugs, and if you throw the watch on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist, you can already see that the resizing is paying dividends. It looks quite natural. It'll slip underneath most cuffs, certainly all jacket cuffs, and you can see from this overhead shot that I've got plenty of clearance on both sides of my wrist. Down the barrel, you can also see the same. I'd say you could wear this well on a wrist as small as 14 centimeters circumference. Now the timepiece is substantial and nicely made. You can see that there's a bracelet that splits the difference between a sports and dress watch bracelet. It's a 3-link design with polished intermediates, but then you can also see it has a nice polished flank, a little bit of a rolled bevel on the side. Of course, removable links on a steel Grand Seiko bracelet are fixed with screws, and then you've got a half link on either side of the clasp, allowing you to precisely size. You can take out that half link and incrementally size, or you can use one of the 4 divots inside the clasp to restation the bracelet internally. So you have 3 different ways: half links, full-size links, and then divots in order to size this. You can see it's satin finished externally with polished flanks, twin trigger release, single swing arm deployment, a lot of security on the wrist. The watch features a handsome case, and you have that mirrored tin plate manual polishing that Grand Seiko calls Zaratsu finish. It takes 3 years to master this, and it's executed by holding the surface to be milled against a spinning tin plate on a European-made Zalitz machine. Well, it started in Europe. Today, the foremost practitioners of this craft are actually the folks at Grand Seiko, and the result is a hand-finished case at a price, well, frankly, you would never find on a hand-finished Swiss watch, but it is mirrored, optically smooth, much like what the Swiss call Pali Noir or black polish. Truly artisanal and impressive. You can also see there's a little transitional bevel that runs the length of the case. It's got a lovely, almost tonneau-shaped arc or camber from side to side, satin-finished hoods, conforming end links to the bracelet, so everything looks well integrated and adjusted. And then there's a lovely conical black ceramic bezel, and this is both the scale against which to read the 24-hour second time zone hand, and notice that the bezel features the evens, and then the inner rehaut or inner bezel features the odd hours. So you have 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and that's how you read the GMT. You'll also appreciate that there is a bifurcation of that rehaut, so you have silver and black, so you have the day and the night. You also have plenty of lume that we'll investigate in a moment, and a lovely black gloss style base. The hands, as well as the indices and the Grand Seiko logo, are all finished manually on tiny diamond tipped tools by artisans who just create these little components all day. So you've got a watch that's hand finished externally as well as internally. There's a power reserve indicator over at 8 o'clock, and that traces 72 hours of power reserve. You've got 2 time zones and a date. Of course, you've got the 24-hour time zone, which makes 1 circuit of the dial per day, and then you've got the local 12-hour hand. I'm going to screw out the crown. The watch is 200 meters water resistance. You got to screw down crown there. Now, everything keeps keeping time. Seconds hand, the minute hand, the second time zone, and I'm able to drive the date forward and backwards. This is my travel time function. My reference time is the place where I am not. My local time is that stubby silver-handed center, and I can change in 1-hour increments as I fly around the world. The watch, of course, features the spring drive technology, automatic winding with a 72-hour power reserve. The watch has the 12 and 24-hour dual times, the stop seconds function, and the smooth glide of spring drive. 30 joules automatic winding, and of course accuracy of of plus or minus 15 seconds a month. The continuously smooth glide of the seconds hand is unique to this technology and distinctive of it. Remember, it took from 1977 to 2005 to bring the first automatic spring drive caliber to market, so this is no mean technology. It uses a unidirectional governing wheel driven entirely by the spring, the hand motion driven entirely by springs, no batteries, no capacitors, no motors, but the unidirectional governing wheel creates an induced electrical current that wakes up a quartz oscillator. That governing wheel then uses electromagnetic braking to speed or slow the gear train, driving at quartz precision by mechanical means and achieving quartz accuracy and mechanical soul. Not much to see on the case back. It's handsome but conventional and solid. There's the Grand Seiko line. Note the three finishes. There's that chiseling, the polish, and then the satin finish outboard. Nicely made and 200 meters water resistant. Email tmosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details. We're back with the spring drive GMT SBGE253 by night.